So those are all of our content types. For some of those content types, you will have additional options down here to enable or disable. One of them is enable chat. So if I decide to attach a chat to a content item, then that would literally attach an individual chat to the content item. So it's pretty self-explanatory. However, I do want to clarify a misconception here. This is not the same thing as a public chat. A public chat is global to a room. If I have a public chat in a room, anyone in that room can access and talk in that chat. Enabling a chat in here through the content library in this content creation page for a specific content item is a different concept. This is literally attaching a chat on an individual basis to just this one content item. So if I were to go ahead and push this video through and attach a chat to it, what I would see as a user in the live site is that video. And then on the right-hand side of that video in a little panel, I would see a chat that is right next to it. So it's literally unique to a content item. This is great if, let's say, I want to elicit feedback from my attendees or I want to incite discussion about something. It's a nice feature to have. However, I would advise that you are intentional and strategic with what you attach your chat to. Just because if you are attaching chat to absolutely every single thing in your room, then there's a possibility that your users will start to ignore that. You want to make sure that you are actually being intentional and not overuse this feature. Next, we have the ability to attach a survey to this content item. This feature is actually not functional at the moment, so please skip it. Do not click on this. And then next, you have the ability to pre-populate this content item into someone's briefcase or pre-push it into your attendees' briefcases. This is the business of the core events team, so you can leave this alone as well. Do not click this. The last thing I want to discuss is time bracketing. So you may have some content items that you only want accessible to your attendees within a specific time frame or time period. A great example of this is your web-based sessions, your Zoom sessions, your WebEx sessions. You want those to only be accessible when they're live. That's a great use case for time bracketing. If you do want to time bracket any of your content items, just simply click the drop down and you can either time bracket by start and end time only, or you can time bracket by both the start and end times. And it's pretty self-explanatory how to do that. You can see just set the month, day, and year. Down near the bottom of the section, don't forget to set the time zone correctly as well. A couple quick notes about time bracketing. You do have the ability to make this content item visible in the content list prior to the start time. This is actually nice because it will provide your attendees of a list of upcoming sessions. Even before they have started, attendees will have a lot to manage in the event, and this is nice for them to be able to see the roster so they can manage their schedule and they can decide what they want to attend. You can have this content item or this session disappear from the content list after it has ended. So this may also be nice. That way you are only focusing your attendees' attention on just the stuff that is actually coming up. Just know these are available to you to turn on or off. You can have a live icon display next to any sessions that are running live. And then finally down here, you can set calendar reminders for your attendees. Otherwise, if you want this content item to be accessible 24/7 at all times, then you certainly don't have to time bracket, just set the time bracket. That is the content creation page. As you can see, it is really not too difficult. It's just a matter of remembering those protocols and those best practices that we have walked through. So remembering the naming protocols here, not just for management purposes, but also for your peace of mind and just to make your life easier when you're in the virtual room builder. Okay, so follow those protocols. It's going to make everything a lot easier. Sorting your content into the folders. And then, of course, down here, just keeping, again, those best practices in mind when it comes to the various content types. Keeping in mind that webinar, doorway, and moderated chats do not apply to you. For anything else you may have a question with, the searchable feature and the tags, and maybe which entitlements to check off, go ahead and speak to your event organizers. They will guide you through that. Now, if my internet connection was a little bit faster, I would actually proceed to load this video for you guys, just so you can see an example of that second optimization or compression process that takes place. However, my internet is a little sluggish today, so let's just pretend. Okay, let's pretend that I were to load this video. So again, I do want to load a native file, so I will select video from the content type list. I am going to upload my own file. I'm going to click upload. Remember that a progress bar will appear. And then finally, down here, While this is loading, if I want something to do, I can decide if I want to browse for a graphic, and I can decide any other additional features that I want to enable, which really is just this first one. Do I want to enable a chat for this video? Okay. And once the upload has completed, the bar will turn light green and it will say uploaded. And then I can click submit and it will take me back to my page. After coming back to my page, whatever is the most recently uploaded content item will appear at the top of the table. So if I were indeed able to load that video, then I would see it literally at the top. But because it is a native video that I have uploaded, remember that the system automatically conducts a compression process for optimization. So the status of that video would actually read as compressing, and it will read in red text rather than this green text here. So I wish I could show you that, but apologies, my internet is a little slow. So a quick note about any files that are compressing is that while a file is compressing, you are still able to attach it to a room. However, that file will not work and it will not function in the live site. So for that reason, when a file is compressing, you do want to keep an eye on it and just monitor the status and make sure that it has switched over successfully to green text here available. Now, because this page does not automatically refresh, if you have files that are compressing, at that point, you can just continue to load additional content items, just follow the same process, or you can just refresh the page yourself and that will let you know if the status has switched over. So just monitor those and keep an eye on those. One last note about this page before we proceed to the virtual room builder are the icons here that display next to each content type line item. If you wanted to preview what a content item would look like in the live site, you can always click the magnifying glass and that will show you. If you wanted to modify information in that content creation page that we were working in, you can click the pencil. If for whatever reason you wanted to clone a content item, click clone. And of course, click this red icon here to delete. So that's the content library. As I said, repeat the process individually for every single asset you want to load. Click the button over and over again, fill out the page over and over again, get all of your stuff into your library before you proceed to the second step of the build process, which is in the virtual room builder. Okay, you want to make sure you have all your stuff in here first, because that's the whole point of the virtual room builder is you're attaching that stuff into the room. So make sure that all of your stuff is existing first as content items.